Oh, lights, camera, podcast. Welcome back to the Casual Chaos Podcast, the sports wagering community. I'm your host, Jay Ash. I'm here with, as always, Bubba and Jeff. What's up, fellas?
How you guys doing? How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing great. I got a hat on today. Had a bad hair day.
I was gonna say I missed the white hat. Are we in the club? What's going on?
Well, I figured I'd cover the white hair with a white hat. So
There we go.
I'm glad Bubba has his on. What's going on, Bubba?
Nothing much, man. I'm actually doing the pod from Disney World. Came up here with the wife and the son. So,
Nice.
but I made time. I brought all the equipment, ready to rock, man. Let's talk about some gambling and some sports.
You're a professional. I like it.
Do you have any sponsorship meetings?
I don't think that Disney World, even though they are ESPN and betting is all over, I'm not sure that they're interested in what we're doing. We got some crazy fans at Ferg's. I'm hoping that this weekend. I hate to jump ahead and talk about it, but the Bucks play, and I think we're covering that game. That's going to be fucking awesome, man.
Yep.
Absolutely. So Disney's probably just not ready for us.
Not ready for the chaos.
Yeah, well, as much as we're ready for Disney.
They're no longer ready for Jimmy Kimmel. So they might
not be ready for us either. And I heard Molly Karam's a free agent, so we might be able to get a moderator here.
Yeah.
So as always, you saw the socials fly. You can follow us at Casual Chaos Live. That's on all the socials: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Meta, X. Anywhere you can do your socials, you can find us on the Discord as well. And then this Sunday, as Bubba alluded to, you can check out Casual Chaos Live on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel at Casual Chaos Live, and we'll also be on Twitch for the live show. This will be our third live show. We'll be doing the Bucks-Jets game. For those that don't know, the pod, Bubba, I, and Tyler are all local here in the Tampa area, but we've got some cool things planned. We've got some feet on the ground from outside the stadium from about 11:30 right till kickoff, talking wagers, talking tickets, and just talking good old-fashioned Buck tailgate and fun. So we're pretty pumped about the the show on Sunday. So check us out. We promise third time's a charm. It'll be back and better than ever, as they say. But, let's not talk about the future. Let's talk about right now. And, let's have a great podcast, guys. Let's pod well tonight.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, as always, we follow the social and the rhetoric with talking tickets. So producer Tyler, let's get it going.
All right. Let's jump right into the mix here. We have Eddie Money. Eddie Money had a big winner here. This is 9-leg parlay, legs for days. Might be a little bit difficult to read. I'll read them out for you. But he had the Bills, Cowboys, 49ers, Seahawks, Bengals, Colts. What a win on that one. We'll get to a little bit more of that later. Falcons, Bucks, Chargers, all to win outright. Money line bet. $2 paid him $2.66. Awesome win there for Eddie Money there. Love to see those huge ones. You just throw them shot in the dark, right? And love to see it hit.
We call those scratch-offs.
It's 2 tickets to paradise. That's what it is.
Oh, well played.
Eddie Money, very nice.
That's well played. Yeah, that's a killer bet. I mean, that's just fun when it comes in. It's an old school parlay card, 100-1. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Got another fun one here. La Flama Mama is on some sort of roll here that is kind of unprecedented, but she's got this one in. And I believe the Hard Rock does some bets where they kind of put popular bets out there, and you can kind of tag on. You can ride or you can fade. And she rode this one. It was over hits. She essentially was betting 2 hits for 5 different players in 3 different games, and also Canelo Alvarez. Luckily, she has a great, astounding husband that helped her navigate the waters of cashing out early on a bet, because she had Canelo to win the fight this weekend, which we'll get to. But she got a payout option here. It was a $5 bet that if she would have let it go and see if Canelo wins, it would have paid $9.65. But Jay, you want to tell the audience what you helped out with Flama Mama?
I can neither confirm or deny that she was given advice to cash that ticket out at $555 before the Alvarez fight, which I believe is a good move. So, as always, lesson in life: it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah,
Definitely worked out well. No doubt about that.
absolutely.
And hell, man, a $5 bet and winning $5.55. I mean, that's
Fuck.
It's insane.
Yeah, man,
that's crazy.
It's
By the
insane.
way, 5 guys to get 2 hits and just blindly land in nets. Unreal.
Yep.
And
It's crazy.
And the last one was literally bottom of the 9th. And
Crazy.
from a game script standpoint, he should not have even gotten it at bat, and he did, and he got a hit. It was ridiculous. So
Awesome stuff there.
Fun wager, definitely a fun wager.
Absolutely. Got another fun one here. So apparently the bets were just coming and flying in with winners this week. I think a little bit different than last, but we got ADC here. Alex DC had a little. I believe this is 6-leg parlay here with the Ravens, Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, Lions, and Chargers all money line to win. $5 bet, paid him a little $45, close to it. So great win there for Alex DC. We had a first-time better with the Casual Chaos Live crew. Hey, first-time better. Welcome to the chaos. We got Nick, Blondie with a nice little Georgia plus 4.5. They ended up winning outright, so I probably bet this live and probably wishes he would have just taken Georgia money line, but a little double your money up right there on Georgia. And then Nick also was riding high on a little teaser, and I know Jay's cringing at the word teaser probably, but he had another double your money up. He had the Panthers plus 15, Colts plus 9.5, and Eagles plus 7. Obviously, the Panthers kind of clawed back into that probably. It was probably looking a little sketchy there, and then towards the back half of the fourth quarter made good on that bet. So hit that one, $75 to win 150.
Nice.
Okay.
There we go.
Just before we transition, Panthers covered the spread. Colts covered the spread. Eagles covered the spread.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to tease. Could have parlayed that 6-1. Could have bet every game straight up, $75 a game or even $25 a game. You could have gotten there. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Just dropping a little knowledge.
That's it.
Then we had Card Jam here, another I think first time maybe better with the Casual Chaos crew. Card Jam had $1,000 for the Bucks to win outright and the Falcons to win outright. As our friends in Fergs, I believe, was right there with him in lockstep.
They called it.
Yeah, they called it just the same. But Falcons Bucks money line bet here, 2-bet parlay, $1,000 took home 5,000, a little over 5,000. That's a great win there for Card Jam.
That Falcons bet was a little ballsy, and which of course is why I paid so well. But yeah, well done.
I think his exact text to us was, when you win on Sunday afternoon, you let it ride on Sunday evening and Monday night. So he must have had a good afternoon, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock games, because the Falcons played Sunday night and then the Bucks played Monday night. So that's what you do. You win and then you roll it over.
Yep.
Yeah. With the wins, unfortunately, we do have losers all the same. So Blondie, Nick, unfortunately, he had USF plus 25.5. He bet this live, and they still didn't cover. Miami showing that they are clearly head and shoulders above USF. Sad for me to say, but I grew up a Miami fan, so I'm not too upset about it. But USF dropping out of the top 25, which is egregious when you keep Notre Dame in, but we'll get to that maybe a little later. So we got losses there, and then we also have a tough one here because he got all the way to Sunday night. He had the Cowboys to win. He had James Conner to score anytime touchdown. He had Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. He had the Eagles to win outright. All hit. So he's sitting there at the 6:30, 7 o'clock going, man, this is great. All I need is Drake London anytime touchdown, and it's a 25 win 600, a little over 600. Unfortunately, there was only one touchdown in the Falcons game on Sunday night, and it was not Drake London. So somewhat of a bad beat. You kind of live anytime touchdowns are, I don't think those are necessarily, bad beats unless that dude dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone. That hurts. But this is the definition of a bad beat. A whale, also as well, this just hurts to talk about. Even
It's
almost,
brutal.
you don't even
Yeah,
want
it's
to
brutal.
put it into the world that this happened. And we got Johnny Hammer here. Johnny Hammer had the Broncos -1 against the Indianapolis Colts. And if you watched the game, you saw a travesty occur where this guy pretty much, the money might have been put into his account already. The Indianapolis Colts lined up in the fourth quarter to kick a game-winning field goal from probably 50 yards or so out.
60 yards, yeah.
Yeah, 60 yards, so quite a distance, and misses the field goal. People are celebrating. Unfortunately, there was a yellow hanky on the field. The Broncos had been called for a personal foul penalty of leverage.
Awful.
Tough. Sean
Crazy.
Payton did say that he agreed with the call at the end. So, I don't know if that's just him as a coach, just kind of taking ownership of a loss, because he said he should never have told the guys to even tried to block it. Just let the chips fall how they fall, kind of thing. So he took a little bit of blame there, but oh my God, they line back up and kick a game-winning field goal from 40-something yards, and the Colts end up winning the game outright. Colts 2-0, Broncos a absolutely atrocious into that game for Johnny Hammer here. He had 21 grand, and the Broncos fell apart at the end for him.
Yeah, it's a rough one, man.
It's
No
the
other way to say it.
Yeah, it's by far the definition of a bad beat. Drake London not catching a touchdown, that just happens. Game script. That game only had one touchdown. To have a game where you're up covering the number, guy's got to kick a 60-yard field goal. He misses it badly, not even close. You think the game's over, and a leverage call, right? No one even knows what that means because
it was questionable at best.
At
too.
best,
That's the problem.
at best,
yeah.
Right. If you're the Eagles, I think Shane Steichen said that my players were not offsides too. So him and Sean Payton agree. So I don't know what leverage is if you're allowed to have your entire offensive line before a ball is snapped and crush people and then push a guy to a first down. Seems like leverage, but apparently you just can't touch the center or stack somebody behind him. Anyway, whether it's a bullshit call or not, to get a second opportunity and then lose by a 45-yard field goal.
Yeah.
That's a bad beat of all bad beats. It's brutal,
Yeah.
and it's bad for anybody. It doesn't matter if you had $25 on it, but 20,000, it just, ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Johnny Hammer, you want to know two things. What's the name of the ref that called it, and what book is he betting on? Right? That's what you want to know if you're Johnny Hammer.
Yeah.
It was definitely a tough one to watch.
And potentially, what time does the flight leave to get out of the country?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that was all the talking tickets, guys. Please send in your tickets for this weekend. Again, we'll be covering all the 1:00 games, or we'll be covering the Bucks versus the Jets. But any 1:00 game bets you pretty much have. I think there's 9 games on. Send them in to us. We'll talk about them on live on the Casual Chaos Live show on Sunday.
That's it. Keep them coming now through Sunday and beyond. Just keep the tickets coming.
Yep.
All right. Before we get into predominantly football conversation, it's 8:20 right now. Bills Dolphins are underway. Thursday Night Football on Amazon. But let's just get a quick recap of the fight. A couple winners here, and an accurate call all the way around, calling not only for the winner but the winner by decision. So we'll let the boxing correspondent Jeff Cook.
It was a good fight. It started off slow, right, as we expected. Actually, I mean, you even pointed that out that Canelo especially usually starts off that way. But the two of those guys were feeling each other out over the first few rounds. Started to pick up in the fifth. I see a lot of people talking about Crawford just wiping, the mat with him, and I personally don't agree with that. Now, Crawford won. There's no doubt about that. I'm happy he won. I put money on him, and I predicted he was going to win, so I'm happy he won. But I didn't think it was as one-sided as a lot of people thought it was. We're saying that it was. But anyway, Crawford, look, Canelo's place in boxing is already set. It was set before that fight. I mentioned to you guys last week that I thought he's a couple years past his prime at this point. Crawford, though, looked fantastic. It'll be interesting to see if he keeps fighting at that weight, right? We'll find out like if he feels natural fighting at that weight or if he wants to drop back down. But Crawford was fantastic. Quick feet, quick hands. He definitely got hit a few times and he took the punches. It was a good fight. I wish it didn't start at 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
That's freaking ridiculous. But
Jeff, did Canelo land more efficiently though? I don't know. I heard somebody say something like that. No, he didn't. He threw less punches, obviously, but he didn't land more efficiently than Crawford.
He didn't. No, I mean, at a point in the fight, he probably was, but by the end of the fight, Crawford had all those numbers. Yeah.
And Crawford staggered him a couple times. I mean, Canelo has a legendary chin. Yeah, and he did get popped a couple times in good fashion.
So now you got to ask the question: Is Terrence Crawford the best of all time?
Well, not the best of all time, but he's up there. He's
up there with Mayweather. He's never lost.
Yeah, Crawford is legit, man. I mean, his stuff, one of the things that people always said about him, one of the complaints about him was that he never really fought, any other type legends. Now again, he did that with Canelo. The argument is that's not the real Canelo that he fought, but hey, I'm not taking anything away from Crawford. Crawford is legit.
Yeah,
those two guys.
I love the way he fights.
Yeah,
he doesn't run, he doesn't hide. He's throwing. He's throwing hands.
They're probably my two favorite fighters of the past 10 or 15 years. So I was happy to see him fight. I wasn't necessarily rooting for either guy. I just thought Crawford was going to win, and he did. So
yeah, they're already talking about a rematch. Which kind of to your point, Jeff, are we going to see him fight at that weight class again? It'd be interesting. He probably takes the fight for money, but like you said, Canelo is already cemented. This fight did cement him, but if you take the fight, now you run the risk of catching Canelo on the wrong day, or your body isn't adapted to that weight and you get caught, right? So you don't have anything to prove. It's going to be a big payday. The Saudis will probably throw 80 million each at him, so it'll make you do it, right? But if I'm him, I don't take the rematch. There's no reason.
No, I don't know how much he made for that fight, but I guarantee you it was his biggest payday. And I just wouldn't be shocked at 38 that he just walks away.
Sure. Yeah. And if Alvarez wants a rematch, why don't you come on down?
Right. Yeah.
So, that's true.
As a non-boxing guy, I like UFC, and I don't dislike boxing really. Can we just, all these professional fighting things, can we get the things at 10 o'clock at night? That's still late as fuck. But 1 o'clock in the morning's crazy.
And then they're like their alternative is like 11 a.m. And it's like, who the fuck is watching that?
Right.
Can we not figure it out here, guys?
Can you find out?
What the fuck are we doing?
Well, the weird thing is that, again, this was the first boxing fight promoted by Dana White, right? And during the promotion of the fight, he talked about how it's not going to be like, boxing as usual. It's going to be fast paced. We're going to get things moving, blah, blah, blah. That's the latest fight I've ever seen. ever.
It's crazy.
So,
I don't even think about staying up for that. It's not even register in my mind.
I guess they just don't give a shit about the East Coast because it's not late if you're on West Coast time, right? It's normal. You're out to dinner, then you go watch the fight or whatever. But if you're on the East Coast, even Central Time, you're fucked.
Some bars are closed by the time that fight goes on. They might stay open.
I think
for the
IHOP
fight,
is the only fucking place that's
open.
Crazy.
It's a young man's game for sure. I told Jeff I saw the first. I fell asleep the second and third. I woke up for the fourth. I fell asleip for 5 and 6. I went,
Thank God nobody got knocked out.
Right. And in the 10th round, I was like, I got to stay up. I got to do it. So I finished the fight. I obviously went back and watched the replay, but it was, my scorecard should not have been trusted for the first 10 rounds.
It did 40 million viewers, 20 million in the States.
It's a big
number.
Seems like a big number.
It probably would have been a little bit bigger again if it didn't start at 1 a.m. Because I know for a fact that there's a couple people that I know that just gave up at some point. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that But anyway, it did big numbers, and hey, if that's the future of boxing, it's going to be on Netflix, and I'm not going to have to pay $65 to freaking watch it. I'm all for it. So
love all that.
Absolutely.
Love that about the streaming stuff. If we're going to put big events on streaming platforms I already have, I'm all in.
Yep. So, in real time news, the Dolphins just drove down the field and scored on the Bills. So
walked right down the field.
Yeah, well,
Methodical,
50-yard kick return will help you out there. So
Yeah.
You guys
Sure.
will have to update me on scoring because the TV in the hotel room doesn't.
7-0, Bubba. 7-0.
7-0.
7-0 Dolphins. Perfect.
I'm going to lose that Q1 bet of Buffalo -3.5. So be it. Let's go, Rice.
Not a Tyreek Hill touchdown. If you're for you, Tyreek Hill anytime, guys. Not Ollie Gordon the second touchdown.
Yeah,
But-
which no one had. All right,
Yeah, exactly.
let's
Probably plus 900 first touchdown.
let's shift gears. Let's get into football. Let's get into college football. We just need to make a quick announcement. I know One Buck Ant has been on as our college football correspondent the last 2 weeks. I just want everybody to know he's serving a 1-game suspension or a 1-week suspension from the pod, just due to some analysis on UAB and Toledo. You can't. You just can't come on the pod and tell us Toledo hasn't scored all year and they're not going to score against UAB, and then it's just a Christmas light festival from a scoring standpoint. So he's serving a 1-week suspension. We'll have him back on next week. And if you're listening, we love you, man. We'll can't wait to have you back. So, but let's get into college football. We already talked about USF losing. Notre Dame lost last week. So a little bit of a shakeup here. Miami looks dominant. We'll see what they do this week. Georgia come from behind win. A lot happening. There's a lot of kind of games as well. But what were your 1 or 2 takeaways from last week?
Go ahead, Bubba.
So for me last week, I'd say Georgia coming back and beating Tennessee like that stood out to me the most. Like you guys said, we talked about it before. Tennessee played so good. It's hard to beat Georgia at home. That game was at Georgia, right? I mean, they're absolutely unbelievable.
Tennessee.
That was in
Oh,
Knoxville.
was it at Tennessee?
Yeah.
It was at Tennessee. That's right. No, they play the rest of their SEC games at home, I think. But no, that's a tough loss for them. So looking forward, I know we were talking about last week, but looking forward, I think Tennessee's going to come out and blow UAB out. I said it earlier on the podcast, but taking away, they're a strong team, and I think they'll come back from it. The other thing that stood out to me last week was Notre Dame's defense, and again, I know we talked about this, but that is going to be a problem. They have to win out. I don't think they're going to win out. They've got USC at home. I believe is that this week or next week?
No. It's like 3 or 4 weeks down the line.
It's 3 or 4 weeks down the line. But anyway, USC comes to town. They're going to score some points. Notre Dame's had a tough time stopping any sort of offense. So those are my 2 takeaways. I don't know if they're going to make the college football playoff.
Okay, so as like the lone Notre Dame sort of fan on this pod, I will say I don't think they're gonna. I think basically those 2 losses eliminated them. Now it's certainly possible. Yeah, it's possible if they win out, they might sneak in, but
They're still ranked, Jeff.
I know
they haven't won a game and they're still ranked.
I understand, but again, that's not the the committee rankings, right? That's
right.
Yeah. Here's one point about the defense at Notre Dame, right? So the secondary coming into this year, the secondary was being touted as like one of the best in the country. Now they were young, but they were still being touted as one of the best in the country. The secondary has not played well. I think the biggest concern for Notre Dame has been their defensive line. They lost a bunch of people. Now they have a ton of talent on their D line, but they're all young. And the biggest problem they're seeing right now is that when they rush only 4 guys, which they've done 40 times in the 2 games that they've played, they've only got pressure on the quarterback 3 times.
Yeah.
So when they've rushed 4, I mean, if you can't beat a guy man on man, right? If you just can't beat him 1-on-1, you're in trouble. And they're just struggling to beat blocks. That's basically the bottom line.
Yeah, I was gonna say because their offense is scoring points, Jeff.
Yep.
It's not like their offense isn't scoring. So offense is clicking. It's the defense. They can't stop anybody.
Now, we were talking before the pod started, and they could easily be 2-0. I mean, literally, they
could
be 2-0.
If the defense could
But they're not. Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, I think Notre Dame's in trouble. I think that USC game that you mentioned is going to be very dangerous for them. They got Purdue this week. They're favored by like 27 or something like that. So we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, they sort of have an easy schedule the rest of the way. that's good and bad news. It's good news because hopefully they win those games. But the bad news is how much credit are they going to get for winning those games? I mean, that's the catch-22 there. So
Yeah.
Well, I think what's bad, my one takeaway, which I think supports your case on Notre Dame probably not getting in, even if they run the table. The Big Ten obviously has some high-ranking teams, a lot of 3-0 teams, and a healthy amount in the top 10, if you will. But looking at the SEC, 16-team conference, Florida 1-2 is the only losing record in the conference, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got 8 teams that are 3-0. That's going to be a slugfest down the road. No one had Vanderbilt on the radar. No one had Miss State on the radar. And, you could pick apart their schedule, but Vandy just went into South Carolina, took care of business.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of teams that are kind of off the radar. And I don't know, I was very high on Bama going in, nice win against Wisconsin, but, you're going to have to show a little bit more. Looking at the schedule, they're going to play a couple of those 3-0 teams. What's that going to look like? And all the way around, we talked about Mizzou, Oklahoma, classic letdown game against Temple from a betting standpoint. I know a lot of people that were all over Temple plus 28.5, plus 29, and they got boat raced. So
yeah,
I just think the SEC is, I don't want to say a return to glory because there's enough SEC hype. They don't need it coming from this podcast or me. But I do think you're going to be back to is the SEC team going to get 3, maybe 4 teams in,
right?
Like the Big Ten, and that hurts the independents like Notre Dame.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
and the ACC is kind of shaking up, with Clemson. With Clemson 1-2 right now, SMU doesn't look like they're the same team as last year. You could just get Miami in.
Yeah.
Yeah, very possible.
So
Florida State has a chance.
Florida State, Louisville are your only other chances. Probably.
That's fair. Yeah, and I apologize for if that sounded dismissive of those other two. It's just kind of more of a brain cramp than anything else. But everybody was so high, including myself, on Clemson this year. So
yeah, big time.
That's the big one. So all right,
I will tell you what I'm real quick. I don't know if we're planning on doing it, but there's some lines that are sticking out to me this week in college football. If you want to get into that real quick.
We can.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is a gambling show.
Yeah. I don't understand how Syracuse is getting 16.5 points at Clemson. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Syracuse is the greatest team in the world. Clemson's not playing great. I know it's at Clemson. 16.5. I like that. The second one that stands out to me,
Bubba, that caught my eye too. But you know what? I was just afraid to touch it.
Dabo will run that score up, dude.
Yeah.
Dabo will run that fucker up if he can, just because everyone's on him.
Well, they didn't run the score up against Troy at home, so
yeah.
I like Syracuse to keep it at least within 16.5. The second one is Wyoming getting 13.5 points at Colorado, who's 1-2. That doesn't make sense to me either. So those two lines right there, they're big, a lot of points. I like both dogs. Those are my two, what I'm looking forward to in college football this weekend.
So there are a few games. I'm gonna take it back, and I apologize. I'm gonna take it back away from a gambling perspective, but there are a few good games this weekend. The one that I'm actually most interested in is kind of an odd one. It's Texas Tech at Utah. Both are 3-0. Yeah, well, we hope, right? I mean, both are 3-0. Both really haven't played anybody. Both are putting up a ton of points. I did pick Utah as Buffalo scores to tie the game.
Touchdown Kincaid.
Yeah, I did pick Utah to win the Big 12 this year. So personally, I have some interest in that. But that game is interesting to me. I'm curious to see what happens there. So, Ash, how about you? You haven't said much yet.
Games, Baylor, Arizona State, both 2-1, a high scoring game. I love the over in that. You just hit on the Utah Texas Tech game. Texas Tech's been putting up 40, 50 points a game. So it'll be interesting how Utah
58, I think exactly 58. Yeah.
So, we're on, a bunch of us are on Rice tonight because why not?
Yeah. Jay, one more to your point too, SEC, going into enemy territory. Auburn at Oklahoma as a 7.5 point dog. That's a big one too.
They're a live dog, but they make me nervous. I think I said it on the college preview. They've got a lot of weapons. They should sneak up on mediocre teams. We're going to see what Oklahoma's really made of. It's a stay away from me. If I played it, I'd be on the dog, Bubba, just like you're saying, because the number did kind of was like, but Auburn really hasn't played anybody yet. So I think they're looking at that Michigan game. But if Venables got the defense playing the way, he can coach, they might be tough to beat at home. So the big game for me is Indiana, Illinois. I did not understand the opening line at 5. I have no idea why it's at 6.5. I love Illinois. Catching points, maybe even a money line play if you're frisky.
I love it.
There you go.
So that's really all I got for college right now.
All right.
One to throw out there for myself, I think Lane Kiffin at home generally scores points. They're only favored by 13.5 to Tulane, and
saw that too.
So Tulane gave up 31 to South Alabama. So I have a feeling that Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, and Lane is aware of lines. I believe like the spread of games. He apologized to bettors last week after the game because he called a timeout that ensued the other team to kick a field goal to not cover the spread. So he's in tune with the lines.
Maybe he's not aware of the spread then.
No, he's aware. He apologized right after the game. He was like, hey, I know there's a lot of people that are mad at me because I just called that timeout. So he's aware of it, and he probably will want to cover every game.
I'm glad you brought that up, Tyler, because I did have them circled. I had their team total 35.5, which is a big number circled. I think they go way over that. One of the things, too, is, their backup quarterback looks like he could be a starting quarterback. So even when you think they're taking the foot off the gas by taking some of the starters out, they bring that kid in and he lights it up.
Yeah, so. I like Ole Miss. I also like Oklahoma. John Mateer, maybe a Heisman Trophy winner, which sounds weird, but John Mateer is playing great for them. And then Louisville's playing Bowling Green, 25.5. Louisville's offense, I don't know what their team total is, but I'd probably take Louisville's team total. They run the ball really well, and I'm not sure if Bowling Green has the talent to keep up with Louisville.
I'm hoping to see a lot of action coming on the Gators late. I'd love to see that line drop from 7.5 to 6.5. I think it's a double-digit win regardless, but I'd like to see the line move a little bit. Apologies to friend of the pod, who's a Gator fan.
I'm shocked that it's even that already. I'm shocked that it's 7.5 now.
I think it's only the rivalry factor, right? Because I don't think there's any other reason why it should be that close. So
no, I agree. So, all right, let's jump into the NFL.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna talk about the 0-2 teams, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah, we've got 10 0-2 teams, right? Who are we saying? Okay, they're 0-2. This isn't happening this year. And who are we saying? Let's relax.
So it's hard to, after 2 games, right? Especially with 15 more to go, it's hard to make this. But I'm in. I'm ready to. I'm ready to make some bulletin board material. Let's go.
All right. The Jets 0-2.
Out.
Cross off or relax?
Cross off.
Yeah, out.
Okay, no playoffs.
Before we move forward, I will say this. I looked at all 10 of them. There's only 2 that I think are relaxed. The other 8, but go ahead. Let's go through them one by one. I like this.
Mm-hmm. All right, Miami.
Absolutely not.
No.
I'll take the. Let's see what happens here in this game because you go in and beat Buffalo. I mean, this game is very early onset of this game, but you go in and beat Buffalo. You're 1-2. Obviously, it hasn't looked good, but maybe the guys in the locker room start figuring it the fuck out because it's either their coach is out or they figure it out. So maybe they just start buying into his shit and get the job done. I don't think that's going to happen, but you win this game and the season's in front of you still.
Yeah, he's done coaching after tonight. They're out.
Probably.
Nah. Well, no, he's not going to get fired after tonight. But I just don't. Even if they win tonight, I just don't see it. So anyway, hey Tyler, you might be right. So this might be a feather in your hat. We'll see what happens.
To Bubba's point, there's not many that you can really go on a limb on, and they at least have some talent on the offensive end.
Of course.
Defense is atrocious.
Yeah,
so obviously that's a problem.
All right, Cleveland 0-2.
See ya.
And bring in one of the rookies. Bring in one of the rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah,
let
I'd
them
love to
start
see
figuring
Gabriel
it out.
Shador. Yeah.
Not a playoff team, but I do like 8.5 to 9 points at home this week. Just saying.
Do you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Packers.
I do. Yeah, that's a classic trap.
Yeah,
game.
that's a classic. Just
Classic
what
trap.
the fuck game.
Yeah. I mean, come on. We just saw a video of Micah Parsons. He couldn't even move a sumo wrestler. Come on. Tennessee 0-2.
Out.
Yeah.
Not this year. I do think Cam Ward's gonna be okay, but not this year at all.
Frisky. Coach needs to be replaced.
I agree with that.
They'll play well. They'll play better, and the coach will still mess things up for them. So, but they're out. Houston.
I think
Alive.
they're okay.
Yeah, alive.
I think they're okay.
Yeah, they
think they
got
still
an
win the
uphill
division.
climb with Indiana though.
I do think
Indianapolis is putting a little bit of fear in their heart, I would say, and the Jaguars, right? They're both in that division, right?
I
all
think
three
they
of
have
them.
a
So,
crazy
they got to get
game
up and
ahead
go
of them
though.
this Sunday. This Sunday they play the Jags. I think that's
It's a good game.
It's a stay away game.
Preseason, I wouldn't have said that was a good game, but
yeah, I think the Jags are playing decent football. The Texans are desperate for a win. It's in Jacksonville. That's a stay away game for me. But yeah, I think they're still alive. I do think Houston's still alive. If they can win on Sunday,
Yeah.
they can make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Yeah.
Jaguars are favorites in that game, so I probably would
I know.
be
Yeah,
betting
I
the
know.
Texans
I
on
know.
that one.
Yeah, when they win on Sunday, they'll be just fine.
Yep.
Kansas City also 0-2.
They're fine.
Next. Yeah.
I think they can be
They're
fine
fine.
and still miss the playoffs.
Honestly, I think
don't think they will, but like they could. They play in a hard division, so like it's possible they miss playoffs, but I don't think there's 8 good teams in the AFC.
and that's a very good point. I think they could. I think they could even lose this week and be 0-3, and I think they still have a pretty good chance to make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
Giants 0-2.
see ya.
Done.
Bring in Dart, get a couple more games. Bring in Dart, let them start learning. Sell some jerseys, get some New Yorkers excited about them winning 3 of the last 7 games.
They are 1-1 against the spread, but they're out. Chicago.
Done.
Caleb has not progressed in the slightest, so I don't see that. That's
The question is, let's say he continues to play this way. Do they move on from him?
have to.
That's why they gave that backup. That's why they gave that kid money.
Yeah. I think they'll give him pretty much the whole season, just because new offense, new everything. But it'll get nasty for him if they continue to he looks as bad as he does.
I think it just comes down to the coach calling the 2 quarterbacks in the office and he goes, "Hey guys, just show me your hands." And he goes, "You, without fingernail polish, you're the starter."
You're a dog with a bone. Dog with a bone.
Are you not drafting Ryan Williams, the wide receiver from Alabama?
No, I'm not.
Oh wow.
No, take your
That's
fingernail
pretty
polish
good.
off.
There's too many.
He
good
wears
wide
gloves.
receivers.
He wears
Yeah.
gloves. You can't even
Yeah.
see it.
That's true.
Who's it hurting? Caleb's out there with them out there. Him and Angel Reese have the same nail technician in Chicago.
Maybe that's the problem. His nails are too long. Can't spin the ball properly.
Very well
Carolina 0-2.
Done.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah,
See ya.
not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Live dog this week, though. New Orleans 0-2.
I mean, they've been more competitive than I thought they would be, but no, they're done. See ya.
Okay.
I agree with Jeff.
Yep, all facts are correct.
Okay, so we pretty much landed where I think everybody figured we would land. There's 2 teams that are in decent shape. The other 8 are probably a write-off at this point in time, but maybe one gets a little frisky, but I don't really see it. So with that, from a 2-0 standpoint, who do we like from a gambling standpoint, and who do we like overall?
Well,
you got Buffalo, Cincy, Indy,
yeah.
and the Chargers, right? So each on top of the division.
My answer is one and the same to both your questions. From a gambling and overall, I like Philly, I like Green Bay, I like San Diego, and I like Buffalo. So the first 3 shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I've been high on those 3, the past few weeks, going back to the NFL preview pod. The only one that people might raise an eyebrow at is Buffalo, because I didn't pick Buffalo to win the division in the gambling part of our preview pod. And that was only because of a value perspective. I mean, they were what,
Sure.
like minus 300 or something like that, to win the division. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I did think that they would actually win the division. I just wasn't necessarily going to throw money on them. And yeah, Philly, Green Bay, San Diego, Buffalo. I mean, for me, I think they're all Super Bowl contenders. I will continue to throw money on them from a betting perspective moving forward. Tampa. I like Tampa. I think they're going to score a lot of points, but right now their defense is worrisome. Indianapolis, I don't necessarily trust yet. I mean, they've been a fun story for 2 weeks, but I don't necessarily trust them yet. So, how about you guys? What are you looking at?
Go ahead, Jay.
I think you can trust the Bucks at this point. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be huge favorites, even with the Jets this week without Fields, only a 6-point number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're not getting a ton of respect in the gambling community, which is a great thing. I think the Niners scare me a little bit because those lines are going to be around the 1-2. I mean, even this week against Arizona, they got a backup quarterback. They're still favored by 1.5. That's a bet against Kyler. That's not a bet on San Francisco.
Yeah,
right.
Purdy has not been ruled out. He's been practicing, semi-practicing, but I don't think he's going to play.
I don't think he's going to play. So, but Green Bay, barring injury, like we've said all along, you know what I mean? I as much as I do like Cleveland, and I will have a ticket on Cleveland this week. I definitely trust that team. The defense is just really impressive. And, unless they lose every wide receiver they have, as long as Jacobs in the offensive line stays healthy. But, again, just from a gambling perspective this week, their offensive line is banged up and they are playing against a great defensive front. So just saying. But yeah, the Chargers, I think they take care of business against Denver this week too, which would put them, in the driver's seat in that division for sure. Indy, it's questionable. Cincinnati, don't see it. And then Buffalo's Buffalo right now.
Well, with Burrow getting hurt, that changes everything, right?
Yeah. So, all right.
I got 3 teams on my board. I think the Bills are for real this year. I think they have a chance to go undefeated. That sounds fucking crazy. I looked at their schedule. If I was going to pick one game that they would lose, I would say it'd be when the Bucks come to town, but that's just because I'm a fucking Bucks fan. But they may go undefeated. They are they seem to be clicking on all levels, and I'm not worried one bit about this game. I do love the way that Harbaugh has the Chargers playing. They just got like a swagger to them. I don't know what it is. They've already beaten the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders in Vegas, which I think is a tougher game than people think. And my third team that's 2-0 that I know we're supposed to say if we like them overall gambling. I like them overall. I hate them gambling this week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are beat up. They are basically playing with the third string offensive line. They have I've been getting update tweets from every single Bucks sideline reporter, and they're one Buck Ant might be playing left guard for them this weekend. Honestly, they have 0 people. Just I think they have 1 starter playing on their offensive line, so it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. I would not be shocked if the Bucks lost this game. I don't feel good about them covering. I would be happy if they won, but I'm not touching that game.
Well, what's going on with their offensive tackles? Because I mean, they lost a guy or two, right?
Mock is out, Gadecki's out, Wirfs isn't back. They've got, Baker's a dog, so just put anybody out there. But it's going to be a lot of dump off screens and hopefully a lot of running the ball this weekend. I
mean, I felt bad for you because you had them. You threw in a small bet, scoring at least 21 points, right?
Yeah. And listen, I was happy they won, but yeah.
Yeah, but they scored 14, like a little over.
Quick.
Yeah. And then they had the line problems, and then they went 6 drives without even getting a first down.
I know.
Yeah, so that's worrisome.
And it didn't get any better, Jeff. They're beat up on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Allow me to retort.
Go ahead.
You didn't like them in Atlanta. They won.
I did not.
Okay, they won. They went into Houston,
Close one.
and Houston Houston has no weak spots on any level of that defense, right? They're stout in the secondary, they're stout at linebacker, and they're stout up front. Okay. And they're incredibly well coached on defense. And yet the Bucs somehow found a way to win the game outright. Okay. Yeah. Baker's a dog. All right. The Jets defense is a defensive legend. It's not a defensive actual gameplay this year. The Steelers lit them up. Buffalo just lit them up. There's no reason to think that Tampa's not going to light them up, even with a banged up offensive line. So if you're just looking at the game from who's got the best unit on the field, right? The Bucs have the best unit on the field. I'm going to take the Bucs to win by a touchdown at home after they just went in and took care of business against an incredibly sound defense that has only lost to the Bucs and the Rams and has only given up 21 points to each, right? Versus 30 plus in both games. Mm-hmm. So if you're just looking at that, again, the injuries mean a lot. And like you said, they're a banana peel away from having somebody off the street having to play left guard.
Yeah.
Okay. But end of the day, let's just run Vita Vea out there and just stand.
I agree. Yeah.
Just lay down. Just lay down. He'll be fine.
But my fear though is this: if they're banged up now, right? And they're not just minor injuries. I mean, there's guys out for weeks. There's guys out for one guy's out for a season. I mean, they're banged up, but then the Eagles come to town, right? The following week. So I just knocking on wood. I'm hoping that Baker stays healthy. I'm hoping he doesn't get fucking cracked this weekend and the next one. So yeah, I'm a huge Bucs fan. I'm a diehard Bucs fan. I say I'm not going to touch the game. I'll have money on them on Sunday at 1:00. But I'm just saying that's something that needs to be talked about because like I said, I like them overall from a gambling standpoint. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but we will see.
My 2 cents on it. The Bucs are just dogs. I think across the whole spectrum of the team. I think they really Baker's brought some life into them. Got the creamsicles on Sunday. They're winning by at least 7. With the creamsicles on. Oh, they're going to look sweet. From that, and they ran the ball down their throat with a good defensive line against Houston, and they had almost 200 yards of rushing. So with Mike Evans and Mbuka and Chris Godwin coming back soon, I think they're fine. Yes, Baker has to stay healthy for that. The Bengals are an interesting one to me because of depends how long Burrow's out. They actually started 2-0 this year, so that's better than they've started recently in recent history. If it's actually 3 months or the season, obviously they got no chance. But if it's not as bad as they've said, I don't know if they've actually said 100% he's gone for 3 months. I think that's what people are saying. But if he's only out for a month and a half, 2 months, and it's not as bad, if Jake Browning or whoever the fuck they're going to put in at quarterback. Mike White is on the team, by the way, Bubba. You said it on the live show. If they go 500 in that time frame, they can still make the playoffs. And if Joe Burrow's and they figure out the defense of it, the defense has to be figured out a little bit. But with Jamar Chase, who clearly looks like a top 2 receiver in the game, they'll be okay if they can they got to right the ship for this little bit, and Joe Burrow has to actually be healthy at some point this season. But if they can go 500 the next 7-8 weeks, they got a shot. They'll be in the playoffs.
So I'll pull an Ashton and I'll say, let me retort. It does sound like he's getting the surgery, and if he gets the surgery, then 3 months is happening. Yeah. So Browning is a good backup quarterback. Especially these days, but I don't know if you want him playing 12, 13 weeks. I mean, that's a completely different story, right?
Sure.
The biggest concern there, though, for me would be their line. Their line is not good. They've ranked in the back half of the 20s ever since Burrow's been a quarterback as far as pass block percentage win. So he sort of takes care of a lot of that stuff, just being him. I'm not sure Browning's going to, I'm not going on a limb here, but I'm not sure Browning's going to be able to do the same type of stuff that he was able to do. So I think they're in trouble. We'll see,
I just look at it from, how many good teams are in the AFC that are going to truly make the playoffs. And I just feel like they could still sneak in there. And then if Burrow's healthy at that point, you got a shot.
Yep.
Yeah. Just stay healthy.
A lot of 1-1 teams that we really don't know on, like the Steelers. What are they like at all? Obviously,
not
the
Seahawks.
defense looked
Yeah.
weird at best. But then you have like the Colts are 2-0, so like everything's kind of fucked right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few more
The
weeks,
Seahawks-
we'll have a better picture.
Fire on the Seahawks this week. They destroy the Saints.
That's
So.
probably a safe. But there's a lot of backups playing this week.
Yeah.
A lot of backup quarterbacks.
All right, we pretty much hit the storylines in that as well. So let's get on to some of the gambling here in the NFL. Gun to the head, almost lock of the week. Who do you got?
I'm going with the Cowboys -1.5. I like it. I just think they've played better in their 2 weeks than a lot of people expected, especially offensively, and I think they're going to end up winning this game pretty comfortably. So, Cowboys would be my choice.
Very nice. Well, if you were on the group thread when Tyler put it out, I got them actually as a dog. He put it out early, and I took it. So I don't think I'm going to need it. I think 1.5 is okay. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys too. I always have a backup because I think we're all very smart. At least I'd like to say when we're looking at these lines, and we kind of match up. I also like the Chiefs to beat the Giants by 6.5. So one of those two.
It's a big number on the road.
Yep.
Big money line play. I just said it, Seattle. I think that's a double-digit win. I also the Chargers line keeps dipping, it keeps fluctuating. If that's below 3, I think you need to play that as well. And I already said I like the Bucks. So
yeah, I got mine would be. I know they played them the tightest in the playoffs last year, but Eagles are only 3.5 point favorites to the Rams. I just think the Eagles are fucking good, man. And they're at home. 3.5. It's not a. I feel like it should be a little bit bigger, maybe. So I would probably take the Eagles on that one.
I'm looking forward to that game. That could be a good game.
Both 2-0, right?
Yeah.
Both 2-0. Rams played them. Shit, they almost beat them on the road last year in the playoffs. So I mean, it'll be a good game.
Throwing the Cowboys back in there, the Cowboys, Seattle, the Bucks, and the Chargers. They're also the only 4 favorites I like this week. So I think there's a lot of live dogs in week 3. So plan accordingly for whatever that's worth.
What's your dog of the week?
Well, let's do
baby.
Let's do this. Let's do the stay away game first to see if we can stir up some controversy with the stay away versus dog of the week.
Go ahead, Bubba.
I kind of hinted at it earlier. My stay away game is that Jags Texans game. That's those guys. The Jags always play the Texans hard. That's a special teams turnover touchdown. I think that's going to be a tough one for Texas, for Houston to go in there and just dominate them. Jags play decent at home. That's my stay away game. I'm not touching it.
Ash?
Stay away game is the Chiefs Giants from a money standpoint. Sunday night, everybody's going to be on the Chiefs. That line's going to keep getting juiced a little bit. So it's a stay away for me. It's a great survivor play on the Chiefs. They haven't covered a 6-point spread on the road in quite some time. Yeah. So I'm just going to stay away from it. And the Cardinals Niners is an obvious stay away for me too.
Bengals Vikings for me. Both teams playing with a backup quarterback. I'm not messing around with that. So
yeah, mine would be Steelers Patriots, just because I have no idea of either of those teams what they really are. Like one of them could dominate the game. I just don't know which one it would be. So I'll punt on it and not really even touch it.
Fair. Yep.
But yeah, I like that. The Bengals game's interesting. Who's the Vikings backup?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Weird injury. There's people saying that not. I know I joked in our chats about maternity leave, but there's people, murmurs in media that it was a benching that they're making feel like an injury thing. I don't know how much validity that has.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
It's 2 games into the kid's career. Let's pump the brakes on
Vikings backup is Carson Wentz.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I'd ride with Carson Wentz over Jake Browning.
Listen,
really
the GM and the the GM and the head coach could have paid
No, he
Sam.
wasn't.
They could have paid Sam Darnold what Seattle's paying him. They chose to move on because they liked the kid. They didn't move on from an established quarterback to let the kid play 2 games. He got his ass kicked all over the field.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz has a ring, but he's not really a Super Bowl champ. He didn't play.
Right.
So,
I feel like if you have a ring, you're a Super Bowl champ.
there you go. All right.
By definition, yeah. But he was not the quarterback.
He was
in
not
that
the quarterback,
Super Bowl
right?
win.
But he was borderline MVP when he did get hurt that year.
Yeah.
Ask Phil Simms about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to Moneyline Dog of the Week. Who is the dog that will win on the field?
Hostetler, for all you folks that don't know. Dog of the week. I like the Raiders plus 150.
Nice.
Washington, they've not been all that inspiring so far. And then you also got to worry about the Daniels injury, right? Is he even going to play? So Raiders plus 150. That'd be my dog.
Very nice. I am and it's showing my true colors here. I'm a baseball player at heart, so I'm superstitious. And every time I bet against or say something against the Bucks on this show, they end up proving me wrong. So I'm going to take the Jets as my dog of the week, plus 240.
Oh, thank you.
Hammer them. Throw them in there.
That's your dog of the week, really?
That is my dog of the week. Yes, I'm telling
Wow.
you.
They're going to win on the field.
The
Fucking
Bucks,
disrespectful.
the Bucks are beat up beyond belief.
All right, but so
The Jets just
how,
aren't good though.
Right, but the Jets
they're playing with
aren't
the backup
good.
quarterback.
The Jets put up 30-something points on the Steelers. I'm not saying the Steelers are great either.
Jeff, how much did the Seahawks score on the Steelers?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
It was in the
a
30s.
lot.
Yeah,
home.
well, again, one of them was because the Steelers just didn't field a punt. I mean, a kickoff in the end zone. But yeah,
They've given up 31 and 32.
the defense did not look good. So yes, to your point. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the other side of that, Bubba.
I
Jay,
will
what's
too.
your underdog?
My underdog is Bubba Stay Away, and I knew it would be. I'm taking the Texans. Contrary to Bubba's intel, the Texans are 10-2 in their last 12 against the Jags. So I'll keep riding the historic team with the back against the wall, 0-2 against a team that I still, as I said in the preview show, is not a good football team. It's not a well-coached team. I know it's a new coach. The organization's shit. Get out of Duval, move to England, get the fuck out of here. Get rid of your quarterback. Your team's not good. You made a trade to get a guy to play both ways, and now you're not playing him both ways. I don't know what the team is doing. The culture sucks. Brian Thomas doesn't want, or who's the receiver there? Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
Right. Short arming it. So you already got all the controversy going. It's a recipe for disaster. Everybody likes them. Everybody thinks they're a sexy pick. They're not good at football. Period. Hard stop.
I
Well,
got
I will tell you this: they are not beating anybody's ass when they play the Jags. The last game, all the last games have been within 3 points. So
just
covers
gotta
the
win money
spread.
line.
But Bubba, they are 10-2 straight up. This is an underdog play. They will win on the field. Why? Because they win 10 out of 12 games. They'll win the next one too.
I got
you can
two.
they are.
hit us.
I got
Let's hear it.
two. I like that Texans play as well, Jay. That was going to be one of mine. The Panthers
Ooh,
at home against the Falcons. I don't know
talk dirty.
why. I'm just
That's an interesting.
Bryce Young. Just it's like up and down. Some games he looks great. Some games he looks like he shouldn't be playing like D1 football. So he's due for one of the good ones because he's played 2 bad games. So I'm going to go with the Falcons aren't that they're overrated is where I'm going with it. So I'll go with the Panthers there. And then Broncos to beat the Chargers. Broncos to beat the Chargers. I think Chargers riding this high train of feeling like they're the best team in the AFC maybe. Like that's what they're hearing, I feel. People are so high on Justin Herbert. I'll take the Broncos being pissed off that they lost that game last week and going into L.A. and winning that one.
I can see it. I mean, a lot of people keep waiting for the Denver team that we expected to play this year to show up, right? And maybe it's this week. So we'll see. Yep.
Yeah, as much as I like the Chargers, that wouldn't shock me. The Jets beating the Bucks would shock me.
Yes,
but
correct.
the Denver beating
Well, I mean,
Chargers now.
to Bubba's point, though, I mean, there is injury. I mean, there's legitimate injury concerns with Tampa, right? So,
Yeah.
Not only on the offensive line, but on the defensive line too.
Yeah.
The Jets are subbing a bad quarterback for a bad quarterback. They just
Tyrod
don't have.
Taylor
Well,
is a veteran.
Yeah,
He's
Put some
a
respect on
lifetime
his
backup
name.
for a reason, Bubba.
You know, the Bucs struggle with running quarterbacks too.
They
They
struggle with backup quarterbacks. It's a fair point because
backup
that should have been your logic. Your logic should have been the Bucs
Well,
suck
running-
against
running-
backups.
and running quarterbacks. Both of them.
So the interesting thing there is that I like that run from Cook. That
Weird
the
tackle.
interesting thing there though is the Jets. A lot of times when you have to go to your backup quarterback, you sort of have to change your offense, right?
Yeah,
They're
tape
not
on
going
it.
to change your offense at all. They're
Good
going to
point.
run the same offense they've been running for the past couple of weeks. So
We'll see.
Oh my Lord, Josh Allen loves this little shuffle shit. Look at the one that's about to pop up on your screen. Oh my, unbelievable.
The delay. All right, before we get into bragging rights, real quick, we haven't talked much about it the last 3 weeks or so. Well, we do have some wild card action in Major League Baseball. So, who likes who towards the stretch? Anybody going to get bounced? Anybody going to sneak in? What do you guys think the last 10 days?
well, let's give just a little color here, so people know what we're talking about, right? So in the AL. The Yankees, if they end up winning tonight, they're up 3-0. If they end up winning tonight, they're 3 games behind Toronto, which probably is a hill too big to climb with 9 games to go. So the Yankees right now have the number 1 wild card spot. The Astros and the Mariners are fighting for the division title. They basically have the same record right now. So one of those teams is going to be the wild card, which would put them in the 2nd spot. And then the big thing is that Boston right now has dropped all the way down to the 3rd spot in the AL, and they're only 1 game in front of Cleveland. Cleveland's 9-1 in the last 10. Boston's 5-5 in their last 10. So I mean that's going to be the real race here is can Boston hold on? Ever since Anthony got hurt, they've basically gone backwards a little bit. So from the AL, that's what you're looking at from a record standpoint. The NL, it's similar.
Jeff,
Yeah.
To your point too, the Red Sox. I mean, both of those teams, Cleveland and the Red Sox, they finish the season with 2 great teams, both of them. So the Red Sox got to go play Tampa, then they got to go play the Blue Jays, and Cleveland plays the Twins, and then they got to go play Detroit.
So the one caveat to that, Bubba, is Detroit and Toronto might sort of have everything locked up at that point.
Yeah.
So,
Right. But that's true. But if the Yankees win and the Blue Jays, if it's close there, those are going to be, they're going to want to win those games.
No, they could absolutely.
Yeah.
They could be important games. Absolutely. On the NL side, it's pretty much all decided again, except for the last spot. The Mets are 2 games in front of 3 teams. So you got the Mets, the Diamondbacks, the Reds, and the Giants all fighting for that 3rd wild card spot. So there you go. As far as like a record standpoint, what are your thoughts, Jay?
That's a big thing you just said too. With when we did the coming out of the All-Star game, we talked about who we would put money on to make the playoffs, etc. We were talking about Arizona selling the farm. They sold they sold completely and somehow turned it around. They're 1 game back.
Yeah.
Right. So they've got a shot.
Now, I mean, they're only a game above 500. So,
yeah,
but yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, but they're still in the wild card discussion, right?
Yep.
And that just to not offend the sensitive ears of Mets fans. All right. But the Mets have not been playing great baseball lately. They can hang on for sure, and they'll be dangerous in the playoffs if they do, but they've got to get there. So it would be even worse if you got caught by Arizona. But yeah, I think everything you said, there's not really much to add other than if I'm in the NL, I really don't want to see Chicago or the Padres in a playoff series right now. And as a Yankee fan, I would love for the Red Sox to keep their slide going because that's the only team that really makes me nervous in the playoffs on the American League side.
So two big series this weekend. You got the Padres and the Dodgers playing. I mean, again, the Dodgers have a 3-game lead on the Padres. So, I mean, unless they get swept, they're in decent shape. But that is a big series. And then who is the other one? Houston and Seattle. who are
Yep.
fighting for the division. They're playing this weekend too. So right now they have the same exact record. So that'll be interesting.
And same thing in the NL. The Arizona finishes with the Phillies and the Dodgers. Again, they could be meaningless games, but they could also be important games. And then the Mets have to go play the Cubs, right? So I mean, it's tough at the end. It's what it's all about. It's fun. This is the best part about baseball, the best time for baseball. So it'll be fun to see who comes out and makes the playoffs and makes a run.
And for the Tampa crowd, they've helped the Yankees out by beating Toronto the past 2 games. So playing a little spoiler there. So
we thank you.
Yeah.
All right, bragging rights. Let's do it.
Talk about it.
Let's do it.
All right. Do we just want to go straight to the good news that
let's
of the
get
pod,
to the
right? I mean, we don't got to talk about the losers, you know that happens, but we'll just
Did somebody win?
Somebody won.
Finally.
Someone did win. I believe I have the correct one here. Tucker Kraft scoring anytime touchdown. Illinois minus 27.5. Bengals minus 3. And the over of Chris Boswell field goals.
Which was in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
W.
Big W. And I'd like to thank the Jacksonville Jaguars for giving me that W. So we'll take it. It was exciting.
Awesome stuff. Well, with that, Jay, we'll jump to you here first, being the reigning, defending, bragging right champ. Let's just jump to you right away here.
2-time, looking to be 3-time. All right, Bills minus 11, up 14-7 right now. Dolphins are getting injured left and right. Bills are about to punch it in. Mike McD, please don't call me names. Well, I mean, not Mike. I was going to go with Mark Anthony, but I think this is his last game, to be honest with you, because I think not only they're going to wind up winning by 11, but I think they might win by 30.
He's toying with them.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to stop. Illinois, I'm taking the money line there. I advise that.
Right in the Illini, yeah.
Oh, all year. Haven't lost.
Yeah.
3-0. 3-0 gets the number. Keep riding them. Take the points if you don't have the appetite for it. But for this play, it was definitely a money line play for me. Again, Buccaneers and Texans, both teams that Bubba doesn't like. I'm on them. I'm on them full speed. I bought the number down to 6. So if Tampa wins by a touchdown, we cover there. And I've got the Texans outright plus 110. So 25 pays 512. I'll see you guys next week to talk about the green ticket.
There we go.
Love it. Well, let's go right to Jeff here. That's a great line. That the only one that scares me is the game that's going on right now, but all those other ones look good, Jay.
Thank you.
Jeff, why don't we go to you?
Okay, so I got a bunch of baseball going. I got the Dodgers winning by a run and a half. So in other words, they got to win by 2 runs. I got the Brewers having to win by 2 runs. I have the Yankees having to win by 2 runs. The only game playing right now is the Yankees, and actually, I take that
Just
back.
went up 7-0.
Yeah, so Yankees are in good shape. Not sure what the Brewers score is. I'll take a look at that in a second.
2-1. I'm with you on the Brewers minus 1.5, Jeff, and they're down 2-1, but they got 2 guys on in the bottom of the 6th.
Okay, nice. And I got Cook over 69.5 yards for the Bills tonight. He's already got 73. So yep. I think I'm in good shape there. Yeah. So I guess we got to worry about the Brewers, and then I'll decide if I'm going to stay up late tonight and watch that Dodgers game. So
very nice.
Jay, you're going to love this.
For those watching the Bills game, what an atrocious kick that was. I hope that was blocked.
All right. Let's see what I really, really like here. So I like, I put this in, I think.
Just blasphemous.
Monday night, I think. So early. I got the Texans to win. There you go, Jay. I took them.
I mush me there.
I like Iowa to beat up on Rutgers. Ole Miss is going to take care of Tulane. I took these all money line. I'm not going to get a huge payout here, but a win's a win. And I like Michigan to win their football game. So 25 to win 165-75. I'm just trying to get a W in the column here. And we will see.
It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. I like it though, because you just want to win the bragging rights. It's not about the money; it's got to win. So you're really betting against Jeff and I, right? So as long as you hit, the odds will pay out. If either one of us hits, you're
Exactly.
smoked. I like it. I like it.
No, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna, go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say he's betting against college Patrick Mahomes and Matt Rule never beating a ranked team. So it's a good strategy there.
So this isn't part of the bragging rights, but our friend of the pod, Pandy GPT, sent me a text. He's got a solid bet going right now, 100 to win, 1850. He needs Josh Allen to have 3 touchdown passes. He's already got 2, and he's got the Bills minus 12. So that missed field, that missed field didn't help there, but
I love that bet.
100 to win what?
1600.
What was the odds on him throwing 3 touchdown passes?
100 to win, 1850. I'm sorry. It doesn't say in what he sent me here. I can't see the breakdown.
It's got to be 3 to 1, 4 to 1. It's got to be plus 400, maybe.
That would make sense. Yeah,
that's probably around there.
I mean, that's a lot of juice for a 2-team parlay. That's 18 to 1. That's fucking big. It's a big number. Yeah. So nice.
Clayton Kershaw retiring. That just popped up on my feed.
Yeah.
Yep.
After the season?
Yeah.
After the season, last season.
One last ride.
Makes sense. All right. Well, that does it for bragging rights. That means it's the end of the pod. So it's so sad when it's the end of the pod. Follow us on all the socials at Casual Chaos Live. Tune in next week. I'm sorry.
A day early.
Next week for the pod. Yeah. But tune in Sunday for the live show. We're back. We're coming at you strong this week. We've got a lot of new material. We got a new layout. We've got a lot of updated odds, real-time odds we'll be playing with this week. We're going to have people on site at the stadium. Like I said, we'll be doing the Bucks Jets game. So please check us out at YouTube or on Twitch come Sunday. Follow us on the Discord. If you want to communicate with us, you want to jump in live, hit us up on the Discord as well. We'll get you onto the program. It is a community, folks. We want to talk about what you guys are doing, not focus on what we're doing. So please send in your tickets, send in your videos, send in your reactions. Just call to shoot the shit. Let's have a good time. Let's talk football. Let's talk gambling. And with that, next week, we'll be doing a pod again. We'll be recording on Wednesday, putting it up on Thursday, because we need to be flexible. So as an audience, we'd like you to be flexible as well. So, all right. But thank you to producer Tyler. Thank you to the fellas for keeping this real. As always, Casual Chaos is out. Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care. Hi, everyone. This is Jay Ash, one of the hosts of the Casual Chaos podcast you are about to listen to discusses gambling and wagering on sporting events. Please be advised the gambling and sports wagering content during this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial or gambling advice. Sports wagering involves significant risk. If you choose to gamble, please do so responsibly and only gamble with funds that you can comfortably afford to lose. All opinions, wagering tickets discussed, or implied wagers on the Casual Chaos podcast are not guarantees to result in financial gain. You must be 21 years or older or of legal gambling age in your jurisdiction to participate in sports wagering. Please verify the gambling and sports wagering laws and regulations within your jurisdiction prior to placing bets. Listeners are solely responsible for their own wagering decisions and outcomes. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call or text the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. We encourage everyone to engage with sports betting responsibly. The host and the Casual Cast podcast assume no liability for any losses incurred as a result of listening to this content.